Today is Wednesday, meaning it's time for another Padres news and rumors video where we are going to dive into Red Sox rumors in terms of where we're at on a possible trade, Jurikson Profar rumors, and we're going to start off with the biggest bomb of them all. Of course, Ohtani. I have details that you guys have not heard yet. But how's it going, everyone? My name is FamedFriar. Welcome back to another video where today we are going to be discussing the news and rumors about our San Diego Padres. Let's start in this. So first of all, the Shohei Ohtani rumor, it caught a lot of people by surprise. But if you've been on my YouTube channel for long enough, you remember about nearly a month and a half ago, I uploaded a video where I interviewed Bob Nightingale. Bob Nightingale is the guy that dropped the Ohtani rumors. Well, Bob Nightingale told me this a month and a half ago. So if you're an OG of the channel, you've seen this before. For people that are not and are new to the channel, I'm going to go ahead and roll the best parts of the clips of what Bob Nightingale had to say, because he had a lot to talk about the money and the Padres spending.
You know, Kim there is like, you don't need our shortstop, but it shows you how much money they have, and they want just more and more talent. And they're acting like any other big market there is in baseball.
Going to take him out of the Juan Soto extension conversation?
No, I really believe that money is no object. I think they'll do whatever they can to spend money. So I think they're all in on Soto. I think it costs $500 million for Soto. It's had fine. It's almost like, hey, we lose $100 million a year. We don't care as long as we have the chance to win a World Series. I think Peter Seidler wants to leave that as his legacy.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, the one thing to remember too is that Machado is a free agent or can opt out after next year. So maybe he does. Yeah, I think they still want to keep him. So if he gets more money, so be it. But people love bogaerts in the clubhouse. Correa is a natural, shortstop. There's no other guys out there. Nemo, but you already have, the center fielder and Grisham.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really make much sense. I really do believe they'll be on every starting pitcher. I think the most interesting thing to watch in the Padres will be a year from now, because I think they're willing to give Shohei Ohtani whatever he wants. I know the Dodgers are making plans for him, but I can see the Padres definitely outbidding him and see if he wants to come here.
That's definitely a bombshell to end it. Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, this isn't something that's new to me. It's not new news to me. And, if you've seen this video before, it's not new news to you. You saw how he talked about the spending. He thinks we can extend Machado. We can sign bogaerts. He said money's not an object to the San Diego Padres. I very much agree with him. Money is not an object to the San Diego Padres. We've made it clear so far, and I think we're going to continue to make it more clear. Now let's go ahead and discuss our buddy, old pal, Jurikson Profar, who's kind of in a limbo. He's been connected to the Yankees big time, the Mets, the Rockies even. There's a couple other teams besides the Yankees, but the Yankees are in dire need of his services as their left field is kind of a gaping hole. Hicks has not been what they expected him to be, and among other issues, there's a lot going on. So because of that, they're turning to Jurikson Profar. Jurikson Profar has probably a good enough offer where if he wants to accept it, he could, but he wants to come back to San Diego. I'm going to be completely honest. That's the supposed news. That's the supposed scoop, is he wants to come back to San Diego. I'm sorry, Jurikson, but I think your time here is done. We just don't really have the budget to seek out a 6-year, $60 to $90 million contract like you're probably requesting. So because of that, I think it's time to sign with the Yankees. I mean, I really want to see Jurikson Profar prosper. I want to see him, be the best guy he can, and I think he will be the best player he can be, and I think he's going to get a great contract. It's going to be his big career payday. I wish him the best, but I think his time in San Diego is done. We still need another outfielder, because if we're on the board to make a trade where we trade away Trent Grisham, we really need another outfielder, and things are looking thin. Hopefully we can, trade for a guy that's in the outfield, maybe a Max Kepler. I don't know what we would give away, because obviously they want young starting pitching, and we don't really have any that's available. I mean, I guess Ryan Weathers, but Ryan Weathers has zero trade value. So I guess I would say whatever we can do, we can get. But honestly, I do want Jurikson Profar to have the best career he can, and I wish him the best. I thank him for his time in San Diego. Yes, it wasn't exactly, the fairy tale ending that a lot of Padre fans are dreaming of, but he did us great service. We gave him a small little contract, a prove-it contract. It all worked out in the end. Jurikson Profar's, good for him. He came off a career year, contract year. It's everything you love to see. I wish him the best. So Duvall signed with the Red Sox this morning, which is an outfielder, so that would definitely mean they wouldn't want Trent Grisham. But Chris Cotiello, I believe is how you say his name. This guy is known to be the Red Sox beat writer, I believe. He said, also within this, there has been significant amount of trade interest in Houck, being Tanner Houck. Of course, I've talked about him several times. Great slider, pretty solid fastball, splitter. He's a great pitcher. He kind of reminds me of a younger Nate Eovaldi, better breaking stuff. Doesn't have as many, innings under his arm, but at some point he can get there. Either way, let's continue on here. The Red Sox are open and listening on their young starters because any significant trade would likely force the club to part with some of its pitching depth. Now, the article was on Mass Live, and he goes on to say, the Red Sox are willing to trade Tanner Houck because they need to extend other options. It was either trade him, start him, or put him in the bullpen. Most likely, they're going to have to trade him to get something back, and, that something back could still be Ha-Seong Kim. Of course, Tanner Houck, I'm a big fan of his stuff. I like him as a pitcher. I think he would help us a lot. Sure, he's not going to be a guy that's going to throw 180 innings, but he's going to throw more than Adrian Morjon, who's probably going to only throw 70 innings. I put out a tweet last night, and it's been really on my mind when discussing the Padres. The Padres are beyond desperate for a 5 starter, is what I said. Morjon's going to pitch 70 innings max. Groom and Weathers are glorified relievers. Tehran and others are depth signings. We are one arm injury away from Vince Velasquez and Jake Arrieta. If you don't get that reference, I'm going to spare you the pain, because having those two pitch was absolutely terrible in 2021 in our collapse. The other last piece of news, this came out about an hour ago. Mark Feinstein tweeted out, the Marlins, Royals, and Padres are among teams interested in Aroldis Chapman per sources. The Cuban missile, I would love him. I would love him if he can throw strikes. Supposedly he was throwing 100 in his bullpen today because he threw a bullpen in front of scouts. Yes, great, he threw 100. The biggest issue is this. Was he throwing 100 for strikes? But that is going to wrap up this video. If you guys are yet to hit that subscribe button, please do so. Same thing with that like button. I'll see you guys all in a video very, very soon. Peace.
Yes. 305 to the 619, baby. Let's go. Let's go, San Diego. Live that shit up, San Diego. Let's fucking go. Woo! It's our fucking house. Hey. It's our house right here, baby. Let's go.